Hi, it's Monday, March 29th, 2021, 9:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm going to try and make a vlog and let you guys know how I'm doing. I'm not sure if the audiobook playing in the other room is a bit too loud for this vlog, but there's traffic outside and all that, so it's not perfectly quiet anyway. I wanted to tell you guys how I'm doing since I'm not writing yet, for those that care. And since mostly I post on this channel gaming videos, I'll start with the topic of gaming and the past couple days. I should know better than to engage in arguing with people who have in the past proven themselves to be quite to have harassed me and to just be of some sort of mental not about mental health, but of some, for an adult, just to not have a maturity level. It lowers my supposed maturity level to engage in anything or react to anything that they might say. I have been good in staying away from that for a while, but I was vulnerable over the past few days, and I took bait, which makes me sound terrible. Wow, somebody really rode their engine on the highway just now. Then there was today where honestly I was just concerned for this person, and and it's basically, I could probably narrow it down to trying to save the father. Trying to rescue the father. If we want to go back to like psychological, analytical, trying to save the father, and I can't save the father. Not in other people. That can't be done. The child in me cannot do that, and that was never my job. And so when it comes to friendships where I am trying to do that, it's received in such a way where I am basically attacked about it. I should know better, and I shouldn't be engaging in that either. But I'm gonna let you into what's been going on with me and why I may have actually been on mic arguing my strong opinions. I have some opinions about my opinions right now, and this is where I don't know whether I'll take this stuff back or whether I hold to it, but this is how I felt lately. A few things that frustrate me. One, when gaming, as a female, as a woman gamer, as a gamer, my marital status or relationship status should not be weaponized against me. When men are playing and talk to people of the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever they prefer, flirting or talking, and as one does on game chat, they are not instantly reminded, hey, aren't you married? Aren't you with someone? Shouldn't you? But what about? No. Just because I do not declare my status over and over again, or at all, does not mean that I am in any way trying to get one over on someone. If I am getting close to you and we have a personal relationship building of some kind, you're going to know. I will let you know what exactly everything. I am an open book. As for my current, my relationship, I do live with my significant other. I have been married. It has been open. They do know everything. When I am involved with somebody, which has been a while, they will know about it. Painfully so, like every single detail of my feelings and thoughts. That's just how the relationship is. The reasons for it, I could go into, but let me tell you that it did not. It was not that this person would agree. It was not my fault that things went this way. Now, things have not gone sour as far as we live together and we are close. He is my family, and we have each other's backs, and we're getting through a pandemic together and bills and taking care of our cats. And we love each other. But that's that. I am 100% honest, and I would never lie about it. So that bothers me when if I'm talking to another guy and getting along, if someone goes, "Hey, how about your husband? How's he doing?" Don't weaponize that against me. It's insulting. I wouldn't do it to anyone else. I don't see it done to other guys in the game. And at the end of the day, my personal relationship is my business. I have had that so that bothers me. I see that, and you know what? I was thinking about that in the gaming culture as it is, and I think there have been cases where, so and so streamer kept her boyfriend a secret and was getting money on streaming when guys thought that they had a chance with her, kind of thing. She misled them by not telling them her personal life. I see the problem in that, in the view that we might instantly take, yeah, that's just, how dare she lead them on. That's kind of bullcrap. If you're streaming, you're entertaining. If you want to watch, you choose to watch. If you don't want to watch, you don't have to watch. We've always had fantasies and crushes on people in pop culture forever, or not liked them, whatever. A lot of people hate view popular channels and stuff and shows and whatnot. That's just how we are as human beings. We're weird. Human beings are weird. But that's I think it's insulting to say that. We don't say that to male streamers. And if somebody wants to keep their personal life private with their significant other, they're not leading other people on. They're still giving the entertainment that the people wanted. And nobody's forcing anyone to interact and or engage with that person. Engage. I've used that word so much. You know why? Because I'm thinking of Elite Dangerous, video game that I'm really into right now. I like to deliver space mail when I'm not lonely. I did get lonely the other day, but that got fixed. It was very lonesome in space. Everybody was away on an exploration adventure, and I was just crashing myself into the sun. But that's besides the point. So that bothers me. The other thing that was mentioned in the video game recently, in the hot ring world, is weaponized against me, and I'm using the word weaponized, is I was called a pill popper. Now this hurts for a few reasons, and I'll get into the other one soon. But one of them is that the medication I'm on is prescribed. I take it as prescribed. Well, mostly. I mean, I'm supposed to split it morning and evening, but I'm afraid they'll sleep all day if I take it the morning one, so I generally do take them at night. But that's the only thing I'm doing wrong. And sometimes I don't get them filled in time, and I skip a day or two. But generally, I'm taking them as prescribed. They're for complex anxiety and such that I've struggled with for a long time now. I don't want to be on medication for it. I have been off of medication before, and eventually it just is not a good idea. At the start of this pandemic, gradually into it, it just felt like anxiety was building all around as everyone started to feel that it was a real thing. And I don't know, my nightmares, which I've had a lot of nightmares for a long time. That's part of my condition. It's very vivid, awful nightmares every night that I dream, every night. Well, early on, they got so much worse, and I don't even remember it. I've blocked it to a degree. I don't remember how bad they got, but I know they got really, 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 really bad, and I did have to let my doctor know, and we haven't adjusted my medication in a long time because we found the best we can do, but we had to. And I was prescribed something that was supposed to get rid of the nightmares, like stop the nightmares at night, by taking it in the evening. It did not stop the nightmares, but it did soften them. That was scary. Sorry. That's how it felt. That's how it felt lately. Okay, so a jump cut. If I do a jump cut, that's because the alarm went off and scared the crap out of me. That's my fasting alarm. So, when I went on the medication, it did not get rid of the nightmares, as I said, but it did soften them, which probably was extremely helpful because even though it didn't do exactly what the doctor said it would do, it did enough that I could handle it, because it was bad to the point where I wasn't going to be able to handle it. I think it was pretty bad. Like, I didn't want to sleep. It was really bad. Okay, Kid Vincent. So, when I take these meds every single night. All my meds every night. And, some nights when I take them, I don't get a high, but I will slur, or, maybe I will be a bit more relaxed, but they don't have the effect on me that, I don't get a high, and I don't, I do drink coffee, which is a bad thing when you have an anxiety disorder, but I hardly have any vices, and please let me have coffee while I still can. But, so I will drink coffee with it, which isn't a good idea, but I do. Other than that, as far as slurring, I can't control that. And I can't predict when it will happen. It's happened when I've had a lot to eat in a day. It's happened when I've hardly eaten anything at all. It's happened when I've had coffee. It's happened when I've not had coffee. It's just, it depends on the medication batch. Like, how strong was that med itself? It varies. It's happened when I've exercised. It's happened when I've not. I honestly cannot predict when my meds will, hit me. And it's just something that I've grown to accept. It's just part of it. The slurring is embarrassing because here's a few reasons why I'm sensitive about it. One is that I do realize the resemblance with the slurring to those who medicate with alcohol and other substances, or abuse medication like the ones I'm on that I do not abuse. what bugs me about that especially is that because of how I saw people drink themselves to death or become people who hate people they're supposed to love, the actions, the violence I've seen happen with those who drink in those that I love has affected me my whole life. I had one birthday where someone I loved was knocking on my apartment door, just reminding me over and over again that my twin was dead. It was just this echoing sentiment that number of years had gone by where I was the one alive and she wasn't. So I've dealt with the pain of people dealing with substance abuse my whole life without even knowing it sometimes. And this has made me very adverse to those things. Now I have found, because of the genetic predispositions, other ways to hurt my body and self-destruct, such as overeating throughout years, where I binged years ago. My gallbladder was removed years ago. To starving myself. I was hospitalized for anorexia when I was a kid. And I have irregular eating even now. To other ways of just hurting myself. But one thing I don't do is I don't indulge in alcohol or drugs. Now I did have a sampling time in my 20s? And dip around a certain amount of people. That was a brief period. And in my, and I did drink briefly when I was a factory worker at the bar there. Blue Lagoons and cherry whiskey. But I even smoked when I drank there at that bar in that horrible little town. I'm sorry. Horrible little factory town. But I never took to it. I never bought packs of cigarettes. Never, kept alcohol. I just never did it. It would even turn me off. I've had to deal with, learning the line between accepting, loving, and having compassion for those who are alcoholics or addicts, and my fear and or sadness, grief, sorrow, and anger toward it, while also seeing in myself the inevitable possibility that I could have succumbed to the same path. In the past few days, in the past week, shortly before I got wrapped up in some drama on GTA in the hot ring world again, my father during that time period was in the hospital. They tried to liver to heart shunt surgery. His veins were collapsed, so they pulled the tube out and they didn't proceed with the procedure. His blood pressure went too low and they just found it too risky. So now he's at home with a wound in his neck. No dressing to it. He's far away, I can't help him. So no changed dressing yet, as far as I know when I talked to him last night. And he's in his 60s. He's very young. And when I Googled it, pretty much, and I did my research years ago too, when I was in my 20s trying to figure it all out, what was going on. From all accounts, from what he's going through, it's end stage. and with the blood transfusions and the stomach bands and this recent shot at this procedure, I'm going to lose him. There's no neat tie-ups to this. And you can't save the father. And you can't make the mother love you. There's nothing you can do to change their own ideas or disappointments. So, anyway, I was talking with someone very, very kind not long ago who was talking about their own facing how there's not just abandonment from one parent, there's the other ones that happen with a lot of people. We either have great people we look up to and admire who fall while we're aware of it, like fall from that pedestal, and maybe we still develop some kind of relationship and we love them and they love us and it's healthy. I don't know, it's on TV and in movies or in real life. Or we've grown up, we're aware of ourselves, aware of our own decision making, and we go, wow, yeah, no, they messed up, and I don't want to be like that. It's been painful, this whole process. Now, I'm not excusing this and saying, this is why I went off on GTA, but I'm grieving. I'm grieving a loss that's inevitable, but who knows when. And I'm not the only one that's grieving. There are other people grieving. So many people grieving right now. And there are people grieving that don't even know why. They're dealing with grief. See, those of us who have dealt with anxiety and other issues, PTSD, for a long time prior to the pandemic, we're quite aware of what we're going through and what we've gone through. But there's a whole bunch of people that are new to this. Like the people that I joke about and saying, within a few weeks of the pandemic, they were going, how do we even get through this, staying at home. And I'm like, try several years of being isolated and alone. But it's not a joke, there are different personalities, people are different. But the fact is that some of us have been through this quite a while. But that doesn't make it easier. We're not better at it. We're not somehow, we do have things people could learn from. We have experience in this, but what bothers me is that we're dealing with this, and then we're also those of us who are a bit sensitive to it, we're dealing with it in real time, a pandemic event with multiple stress factors on top of whatever we already had. And it's happening. And some of us are thriving and some of us are not. And that, you know what? As some people have said, hey, if you're still here right now, you're doing enough. If you don't be hard on yourself, you're living through, this is, I don't think some people get it. They're so in denial. We're living through an event that will be in the history books. This is a worldwide event. This is a thing that will be in history as a mark in history for our species. This is not a little thing that we're going through, and it's not over yet, and it's going to continue. And myself, I have been, I guess, agoraphobic recluse for a while, though I love outside. I have a lot of photos of that and that, but it's harder to go out, and I have all the more reason not to, especially with risk factors. Right now in my province where I live, in my area, cases are rising. They're the worst they've been. They're getting worse. The variants are spreading. It's stressful. It's stressful. There are people suffering out there. Paychecks away. One paycheck away. It's worse. It's always been bad for a lot of people, but it's even worse right now. And you just feel it. I mean, from a stranger knocking at the door, trying to see if they can get in for some reason that makes no sense in a building like mine. There's off-putting things. It's not that easy. And then there's just like the ambulance going past every day, multiple times a day. And people acting up and things, people dealing with it in their own way. So yeah, video games are a great way to escape. And I get it that some people just want it to be fun. And I get it. Oh my gosh, I get it. I've been distracting myself with video games for a few years now. I get it. But we're all still real people on there. And for some reason, I don't know what I expected, but there's so much I don't know, do people forget that other people are human beings? Do people forget that I don't know. There's different things that bother me right now about it, but it's fine. So I've decided to play Elite Dangerous a lot more, and I've been doing that, and I enjoy it overall, except for that one rough night. I'm liking the help I've received. Thank you for your patience. It's just been, this has been coinciding with me concerned about my father, and also thinking about, I gotta deal with stuff here. Like, I do have other things to think about. Despite the fact that I could stream so much, I'm still dealing with my real life. But yeah, people who say on the video game, I know you very well. Wow, a cat sounds like it's just lost their mind. They're probably okay. It's that evening excitement. I am an open book, but even when I've written journal entries and posted them on, typed and posted to my online journal, there are sometimes things that I can't share online that I will call, let's say one of my aunts that I'm in touch with that is in touch with me, and I'll let her know like something that I couldn't post so that she knows a bit more about what's going on. Because the fact is that the whole world, my whole life is not online, but there is a lot there. And what isn't on there, I mean, I probably have talked about with someone in real life, but I mean, I have a lot online. And it's not. Somebody made the remark about my self-portraits folder. For one thing, that's been on there for I hate to say it, but in a few years it'll be 20 years. 20 years. So it's not like, oh, I just started posting a whole bunch of self-portraits. No, they go back a while back because they've been on there a while, And my journal has been a long time. My YouTube, long time. My life has been online for a while. Scattered all over the place. I don't know what I'm trying to say now. I know I've talked a long time, but I was just trying to say, I'm not okay. I haven't been okay. I've been stressed about things, and I've been worried. I've been grieving. I've been trying to survive in a pandemic. I laugh about it, but it's real. It's a few times it's been a real concern. I had finished the fall term in that program at the college, and I quit when the whole parents contacted me thing, finding out, like, just some things happened, and I just was like, and I had to question my why, that I was doing anything, and blah blah blah. But I took the time off. Like, I finished the term, and then I decided not to go back the next term for a bit. And then now I've realized, well, it didn't really help. I mean, maybe I did need to stop for a bit there because I was getting really cynical and whatever about school. And rightfully so in some aspects, because things are pretty bleak right now for a lot of people regarding prospects that are far younger than me and have the world ahead of them. And me, I'm like, I don't really have much of a path as far as academically and job-wise ahead of me. So what am I doing? Why am I doing it? You know, I really had to think about why I'm doing it. But today I got up early enough to get online to register, and then after waiting a bit, I realized registration is tomorrow. So I will. It must mean I really want to do it if I would be there a day early. So I'm gonna register for next term, and I'm gonna take some time away from the video game, at least for a few hours of the day. Give myself some more structure again, and hopefully that will feed my writing time and my reading time, and get me a little more balanced out again. And as long as I remember that the why for doing the schooling is not to make anyone proud of me, or to go, oh, see, I could do this, see, it's just for me to learn and to socially interact with other people that are learning, and because I do find this program important. It was a bit of a downer to reach out to workers, to WSIB, and not get any help regarding it, you know, considering I got perfect grades. I was hoping for a bit more support, like they should have. It's a program that they probably should have put me in a long time ago, but I put myself in it. But other than that, you know, that's a whole side tangent. You know, it's not a surprise to me them doing this without any. That's been tough, you know, realizing that the support system really isn't in here. The support system is me supporting somebody else mentally, emotionally, while they support us financially, while I support them to support us financially. It's really just like there is no other, there's nothing else to it's scary. It's scary when you think of it that way sometimes. It's not, certainly not how I would have wanted it to be. Other times I'm really miss living on my own, just caring about my own space and having time just to be on my own, and having the aloneness and the solitude justified. Whereas when you live with someone and you feel that way, it's a very different feeling. There's that. That's been a long time of feeling that. And that's not just from the situation, it's just how I felt for a very long time. Maybe that's part of being a twinless twin, is always feeling like that. Anyway, this was really long to say that I don't want the gaming to be a bad thing. I enjoy racing. I enjoy the new game that I'm playing, In Space. It's the first game to grab my attention this much since GTA. You know, as far as I've got other games on the PlayStation and I can't get past making a blowtorch on one of the games that would be my favorite, the Alien Isolation. You know, like Aliens, the movie is one of my favorite films of all time. So, like, the fact that I can't play that game because I can't figure it out, but I will. But I'm getting into Elite Dangerous. This is really kind of exciting. It's exciting to get into the game. It's exciting to have a much more supportive game experience. Like, people are so helpful, and it's really actually really awesome, especially streaming it on Twitch. And the people that I play with, they've been helpful. I wouldn't be able to, yeah, yeah. But I really do like racing on GTA, like, and I just wish it was always a good experience, and it's not. I'm glad they're playing with that toy, but that's been a lot lately. It must be the full moon. Anyway, getting that energy out, that anxious energy. The cats feel it too, I'm sure of it. Yeah, I'm gonna be okay. I mean, yesterday I organized a shelf near me that had a bunch of papers and, you know, a few notebooks and stuff, and I got that all straightened out, and I'm doing bit by bit some of the things I would like to do that way. Getting registered for school that starts in May is a good idea for me. I think. I mean, I'm still thinking about it. I'm still like, really, do I want to sit here in the summer heat in class? But why not? Why not? Why not? I miss and long for conversations with people about, like, really good conversations that are, like, intellectual and exploratory and creative and passionate and personal and expanding on ideas together and learning from each other. I miss trust, feeling complete trust in someone. I haven't had that in a long time now. Granted, it was misplaced when I did feel it, but I miss giving that up, because holding back or not having it is so painful, because that's not how I'm built. I'm built to give it over. I don't know how to explain it, and I'm not able to do that right now, and it's a part of it's blocking my expression of who I am, I think, a bit. Other things, yeah, I miss the me that would write in my paper journal and watch films all the time. Just like, I miss that. I miss taking creative self-portraits where I turn the timer on the camera on and walk away and be somewhere in the landscape. I don't know what to say. It's, I know I won't find myself on a video game, and I won't, but I'm thankful that it exists. Sorry, I went dark there. The computer's like, you need to stop right now and go to, sorry. Did I say exist and then it went black? That's kind of funny. Having said all that, I am grateful that I'm here, and while I'm incredibly stressed out, I'm gonna try to make sure that we can stay and get through this. I miss intimacy in a way that is all levels, you know? And, it's like I felt like I'm still on pause. I'm on hold. Please hold until the next available lifetime is available. But that's part of me. I mean, I hold myself back. What am I waiting for? Is it yada yada yada? But a few more things. I wanted to publish the lit thing about Toronto, and I don't have enough submissions yet, and I don't blame them. I mean, I'm not paying for anything because I have to pay the cost of putting it all together, and I don't have any funding, but it's not just that. When tax time came around, we were hit really hard because of the time period that he lived away and had 2 jobs for a very brief time, which put us into a different income bracket, which we didn't actually get to enjoy because of the fact that we were paying 2 rents, and it was just crazy. So that hurt a lot. Like the money that I was intending to ear for the magazine and some money for the balcony, maybe to make it a little more of an outdoor space that could be enjoyed despite all the spider battles that'll ensue. I really had hoped to do stuff like that, and I couldn't. So there's that update. Yeah, not reading. Got fantastic books. Sometimes I think about back when I was gonna get into BookTube, and I was thinking about all the books I bought when I lived in my hometown, when I moved away, all those book hauls I was gonna share, and I never shared any of the books I ever bought. So, I mean, I still think that'd be great to do a video of showing my whole book collection. Oh my gosh, I just realized J.K. Rowling's books show. I'm not a fan of her transphobia, but I have not gotten rid of her books yet. That's because this is how I'm going to justify it, and it is not a good reason, and I don't blame other book lovers for having tossed her books, because her stance, considering her platform, is trash. I have a lot of classic literature and books by a lot of a-holes. I mean, if we went back and judged most of them, they're terrible human beings. But God, some of them could really write. So, I don't know. I purged some things before during various movements, and I don't regret a couple of them, but that one's going to be tough considering how much the books meant for a while there. So I don't know, it's like music culture, like, oh my gosh, the problematic musician dynamic with fans. I mean, we'd bring down all of the music we ever loved, especially 60s, 70s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Oh my goodness. I couldn't even if I couldn't listen to music, so I just wanted to explain myself there, but I'm not okay. I'm not on her side, even though on Audible I did buy more of the books for the SO to listen to, because that's what he's been listening to. Hermione used to be my favorite character. One of my favorite characters. Can you guess why? The hair. I totally would have related to her character in the book, except she's smarter. Yeah, this was a very long blog to say I acted a fool on the game by letting people get to me. And the other thing, the Chewbacca thing, I'm so bothered by that. As someone who originally, bought the Star Wars trilogy in the black VHS box, and then the gold edition, the gold box set as well, when they added the graphics, the CGI, I was a big Star Wars fan, and first of all, I'm really short. I'm not all built like Chewbacca. Chewbacca is a beloved figure in Star Wars, and for me to be insulted by being called that because of my hair, I was also told to have hair all over my body. I don't. Now, this is not to shame anybody, because I have friends that it's their choice of what they do with their body, and you don't have to conform to any societal norms at all if you don't want to, because it's you and your body and your life. But for me, for quite some time now, since my 20s, I like to shave my legs and such, and that's what I do. So I'm not hairy all over. I just have a lot of hair, and that's such a weird thing to insult. And yeah, it got to me just because, making the sound and making the just trying to insult my appearance, it hurts because I'm extremely self-conscious and I'm extremely anxious, and I've had times where I feel like I don't deserve to go outside because of my anxiety condition, and there is no reason for it. And when I look back at photos of myself from my 20s, I'm like, you're pretty, you're fine, why are you so hard on yourself? And maybe one day I'll say that about my age now as well. I'll be like, why are you so hard on yourself? Because we're all individual human beings, and we're allowed to look how we look, and our bodies go through changes and stuff, but overall we all have something beautiful about us. And I'm gonna say, as a Leo sign, my hair is my main And since it's been growing out again because of the bangs cutting debauchery a few years ago, but since it's been growing out again, I like it that I have long, thick hair. It is my mane, and it feels good against my skin when I'm not wearing a shirt. It feels good as it's getting longer and longer down my back, and it feels good when it touches my arm, and it feels good to be able to hide my face behind my hair, and it feels like me having long natural hair. I don't do anything to my hair except wash it, let it air dry, comb it out. This is my hair and I love it. And considering, people should like whatever they have, but how is it an insult because I have long hair and a lot of it? And I don't have it on my body, but if I did, it'd be none of their business. But I don't. I like soft skin. It's something I actually get to enjoy having probably because of my, my extra weight, but also because I don't consume dairy. I have chocolate almond in my coffee, and almond is amazing for skin, let me just say. I have nice soft skin, so I just thought I'd say that. And I know that sounded really insecure or vain, but I deal with a lot of, I guess it's a bit of bullying on the video game. And sometimes it doesn't get to me, but sometimes it does. And times where it probably gets to me is where I'm feeling especially emotionally vulnerable. My dad is sick, and we're in a pandemic, and a lot is happening that is painful for everyone, and you just want to feel connected to other people, and instead you find that people are cruel and think it's fun to act like they're in, I don't know, it's, and I realize you need to have thick skin to be on the internet. If I was ever to become a streamer or a YouTuber, which, given the amount of years I've been on this, I doubt, on YouTube in general, I don't think it's gonna happen, and my irregular posts. But if I ever was, I'm sure I would get a lot of negative comments based on various features that I have. But here's the thing, I handle a lot, and I can handle a lot, and I know myself, and I know what my struggles are with myself. And I know some of it I may never be able to fix, whether it's and some of it I may never be able to accept the way I wish I could. But I'm trying, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying here, except that I feel bad for Chewbacca getting made fun of, and I feel bad that I would be, that would be used as a hurtful thing. It's not fair. And it's kind of dumb. When you think about it. On the stream today, the one person messaged on the stream, "You ugly." It's one of the ones that keeps harassing me. And I just thought, it's really, that's really immature of a grown adult to be saying. 2, they don't really know. 3, it's subjective. You can think I'm ugly, and maybe I am to people. I don't know. I'm not a supermodel. I don't wear makeup, and I don't I haven't had my hair done in prior to the pandemic. But I don't know, why has that happened? And when I think about it, it's coming from, if I was to be really judgmental, I'd be like, it's coming from somebody who I've seen their picture, and I'm sorry, but if we were to judge appearances, I mean, gosh, this was gonna sound so cruel, but I was gonna say my significant other is way better looking, and I won't even, and he's not even my type, my significant other, and so this person trying to judge my appearance is kind of, I don't know, that's hurtful, and just sort of demoted my brain to class. I don't know, this is why I have to go back to school, because if I stay in the mindset of this bullcrap, I'll just continue to fall into further ignorance. I just find a lot of it, dumb, and yet I can't stay away from the video game. It's so weird. I never expected that we would go through something this severe in our time frame, and people would still be petty and crazy. That's a wrong word. Hostile, mean, inconsiderate, rude, not mature from it, not experience awakenings, but instead just be horrible human beings to each other during a time when you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what's going on in their personal lives to the extent of, you're insulting them, but they're dealing with grief, tragedy, loss. Illness. But that's the way it's always been. That's the other thing that gets me, is that's no different than it's always been. Some things just don't change no matter what the circumstances are. And if anything, it's shown that it's this pandemic. If anything, it's so much amplified all the problems we have. All the issues we never dealt with. All the things we never rectified and made better. All the holes we just left there. Just for people to fall through. Everything we've done wrong. And that we're still doing wrong. It makes me incredibly sad. Makes me feel so sad. And that is added to the grief that I carry with me. Maybe that sounds dramatic, but it's true. That's what I feel. And I try to forget about it, but it stays with you. It doesn't go away. It's just part of who you are. When you are someone who is aware and acknowledges that it exists, that sorrow and grief exists. Anyway, that sounded like a cheerful note to end on, so I'm gonna end this. I hope you're staying safe and taking care of yourself and those you love. Take care of yourself. Be okay. Just keep going. Why not?